WP, the general rule across the galaxy is that the cuter a species is, the more bloodthirsty, violent and xenophobic it is. Humans, being humans, insist on petting most of them however. Sarah waved her finger at her Tonky. No more sugar for you today. Miss the fluffy creature. Almost the size of a car. Moaned in disappointment. It waved its twin tails as it shouted in a mix of bark and groan, using its rear legs to jump horizontally extremely fast. Sarah knew she wanted more sweets, and she cursed her boyfriend for giving her pet candy. It was a Tonky, not just some random wolf or lion like they had back in Earth. The pink colored fluffy cuteness was actually a savage hunter whose ancestors were responsible for destroyed countless species over the eons. And it was about to throw a tantrum. No. Don't even think about it, Sarah warned, raising her hand as the beast lifted itself in its rear legs and reached for the upper shelf where the cookies were. Get down, Miss Sparkles. Get down, it cried again, snarling to her and lifting its plumes above the head, which made it look adorably. Even though all animals in Hypnos 1 would have been deadly afraid of the movement. Sarah twisted her face in disbelief. Who the hell you think you are? Exclamation point. She picked her shock baton and turned it maximum potency. Sparkles felt but a sting and she hissed at Sarah. No. Down. I said down. I won't repeat again. She pointed her finger downwards and tapped her foot impatiently. The natural alpha predator had its paws at the cookie jar and Sarah could see the indecision on its look. She did not even blink as she glared into the monster's eyes, her gaze eventually making Sparkles back down. The monster went back to the ground with a loud thump that made the floating chairs waver around the kitchen's table. Sarah did not move and instead, with her arms akimbo, kept her gaze strong. In but a few moments, the Tonky lowered its plumes and its legs, letting its head touch the ground and closing two of its four eyes. As it submitted, Sarah relaxed her posture. Now, that is better, she sighed as she put the shock baton away. Look, you know you can only have cookies after your dinner, not before. The Tonky squealed. I know, she winked at the beast. I also like them. Sarah then proceeded to pat Sparkle's belly, to which the monster turned to its side, exposing the soft fur under its abdomen. She eagerly hugged the beast and caressed its fluffy tummy. Now, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Yes, that's right. You are. She let go of her pet. Okay. I will make a deal with you. If you eat dinner, I give you a cookie. Only one. Alright. The highly intelligent and overly cute monstrosity barked its agreement. Good. Now come, she signaled for the predator to follow her, turning her back at its muzzle and walking down the basement. Down there, in several prison cells, were massive aliens, at least twice the size of a human being. They had green skin and 4 arms, with sharp fangs and hard claws. One of them, scarred and even stronger than the others, stood as she approached. In perfect Terran, he announced, I'm Zeej, son of Zeta, champion of the Calamity. He slammed 2 fists on his chest. I'm the greatest warrior in my clan and of all my kind. You shall never break me with your torture, foul demon. My spirit shall endure and my Liga, yay. Whatever. Dude. She opened the pen. Sparkles dinner. The expression of sheer terror on the alien's face enticed the predator. It used its 6 legs to jump at dashing speed from one side to the other, essentially dodging any possible attacks from the cage champion before jumping on his neck. As the Tonky felled its dinner, it turned the warrior on its back and cruelly started to eat its lower spine, spilling blue blood over the floor. Sarah flinched. TCH. Sparkles, don't mess around. The creature turned to her and showed its 3 lines of giant needle teeth. She raised her hand as if she was to hit it. Nah. Go back. I said. The Tonky lowered its ears in fear and dragged the moribund alien to the back of the cell, where it continued to feast on his flesh. Sarah shook her head in disbelief. It had dirted all the whole way. Another alien, behind her, spoke. He was the champion of the Calamity, the Lord of Slaughter, son of the devil. Amorku. Its eyes were in shock and yet he fell before the Tonkel, How can you control it? What kind of foul sorcery is this? What creature are you? Exclamation point HM. She glanced at the alien and shuddered. I dunno. Guess I'm just human now. How to clean that mess? Oliver, she shouted to her boyfriend Oliver. Get down here. You gave Miss Sparkles cookies. You are going to clean her mess. The higher functioning life forms of the universe were generally not pleasant to look at. The Galactic Council was generally not a pleasant looking gathering. The Julaxi delegation suppurated. The Aos tusks clacked. And the humans just were. They were so basic in general appearance. It was only fire mastery of dark matter physics a few short cycles ago that had finally led to membership of the recognized galactic government. And now a member of the News in Science Academy was trying to convince the council of another reason against this. To the bewilderment of the human delegates. They're dogs, replied the first ambassador from Terra in a bewildered tone. Yes, hissed the scientist through his fibrous teeth. And they are, in your own histories, shown to be descendants of vicious, territorial, apex predators. Am I correct? The tall spiky-framed newsie rustled its spinal barbs in its self-satisfied smugness. Well, it's true, dogs are descended from wolves. But the Terran ambassador began before the newsie cut in. But your species has a habit of this type of behavior. I believe you describe it as domestication? Cats, another example, evolved from ferocious carnivorous animals. The Terran ambassador sighed. I don't see what you're driving at. The chair of the Galactic Council was a thick-hided Huxat elder. He lurched upright and spoke in a voice near almost incandescent. Do you know what a Siphope is, Ambassador? It is a dangerously tenacious feral creature from the central cluster of the universe. It reproduces quickly and it is absolutely not the sort of thing one seeks out. Here. This what we all have learned to fear. He waved a claw and a picture appeared on the holographic display in the center of the room. A creature with visibly soft fur, tiny wings, bright open eyes, and a stubby but gently curved beak appeared on the screen. The chair turned gravely to the Terran ambassador again. You'll understand our collective concern, given the history we have heard outlined, that your Terran researchers have been keeping one as what you call a pet. Planetary I-56 PRR 964, called Earth by natives designation, highly dangerous. Do not engage. Overview. Initial infiltration team dispatched during early native civilization. Standard entry points in both warm and cold regions. Successful integration into upper levels of early religious practices. Infiltration team reported promising results and implemented standard maintenance reporting schedule. First supplemental communication with integration team established 5 cycles after initial contact per standard operating procedure. Team reported unusual but non-violent engagement by natives, including but not limited to redacted, and redacted. Initial team reported some offspring displayed interest in these activities with natives, but were able to be redirected to main mission. Initial team did not believe this development to be overly concerning, and did not request reinforcements at that time. Second supplemental communication with integration team attempted 10 cycles after initial contact per standard operating procedure. No response received from initial team or team offspring. Auxiliary team dispatched. Auxiliary team returned from 56 PRR 964 without engagement. Team observed complete devolution of established operatives, while physical form remained identifiable. Behavioral characteristics of initial team and offspring were almost indistinguishable from native fauna. Extraction deemed non-viable. Initial integration team offspring declared lost and mission unsalvageable. Circumstances unprecedented. Integration team reports, classified. Level 42 clearance required. Auxiliary team observation reports, classified. Level 42 clearance required additional areas of research, a Petacat area, and laser diodes as recreational tools. End of report.